Billionaire tests deaf girl with his credit card. What she purchased revealed her amazing heart. James Caldwell, the shrewdest billionaire in Maryland, stood on the precipice of a cold, gray autumn day. He had built his empire through cutthroat strategies and relentless ambition, but the vast wealth surrounding him felt hollow. As he drove through the posh suburbs' pristine streets, something flickered in his chest, a tightness, an ache he couldn't quite make sense of. And then he stumbled upon it, a quaint coffee shop with a warm glow seeping through its windows, laughter ringing out like music from within. He parked his shiny black SUV, dismissing the subtle pull of curiosity, and stepped inside. The aroma of freshly ground coffee engulfed him. His sharp gaze fell upon a small, spirited girl with sparkling eyes, bringing life to each cup as she poured and smiled, her hands flourishing in a dance of friendly conversation with regulars. Amelia, a 12-year-old deaf girl, was the heart of this shop. She gestured animatedly, unfazed by her challenges, radiating warmth with every interaction. James's heart, usually cold and detached, felt a strange flutter when he watched her. "Do you want a cup?" she signed, smiling as she made a quick gesture, fully unaware of the person she was talking to. He felt something stir within him, a twinge of genuine interest. After he ordered, James overheard two women chatting about a local initiative to revamp a long-forgotten playground. He had been searching for the perfect business acquisition, but that day was taking an unexpected turn. An idea sparked. He sauntered over to Amelia, his platinum credit card glinting like a trophy. "I have a proposal for you," he said, a smirk dancing on his lips. "You can spend this, but I want to watch how you choose." The challenge flashed in her eyes, and without hesitation, she accepted, not realizing the depth of his intentions. Amelia burst into the nearby store, where the shelves were lined with possibilities. From art supplies that would ignite creativity in children to warm coats for veterans, she selected with purpose. James trailed behind, marveling at her choices, a stark contrast to his own calculated decisions in the boardroom. With each item she chose, James felt a flicker of something he hadn't felt in years: hope. She returned holding her bounty like trophies of compassion, her voice alive as she shared the stories behind each pick. Yet James couldn't shake the doubt swirling in his mind. Was this selflessness, or was it merely the result of her struggle to support her family? He felt a pang of guilt. Could he, a man so conditioned by greed, truly appreciate her heart? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can, drop a like. It really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. As Amelia spoke, he learned about her family, the sacrifices her grandmother had made while battling illness, and her mother's relentless work shifts to keep their home afloat. With every revelation, the walls around James's heart crumbled bit by bit. The very thing he had sought to exploit became a mirror reflecting his own loneliness back at him. Just as the day unfolded in a tapestry of kindness, celebrating community and connection, James faced an unexpected turn. Old habits die hard. Could he truly step away from his fortress of wealth? In that moment, as Amelia's smile illuminated her innocent dreams, James felt the weight of a decision pressing heavily on his chest. Would he choose to embrace this unexpected chance to change, or would his past pull him back into the shadows of avarice? The playground, the heart of this community, hung in the balance of what he would choose next. James stood in the coffee shop, torn. The usual comfort of his wealth felt absent, replaced by a growing realization. The laughter and chatter around him felt alive, vibrant in a way his boardroom meetings never were. He looked at Amelia, her joy palpable as she animatedly signed her stories, each gesture wrapping around his heart like a warm embrace. "Can you help make a difference?" she asked, with an infectious eagerness, her hands flying through the air as she exhibited her vision for the new playground. It wasn't just about swings and slides to her. It was a dream where kids, just like her, could play and find companionship. A safe haven built from their struggles. Her passion ignited something inside him. What had he always sought in his own world? Success was a lonely pursuit, and he found a surprising reflection in this young girl. The playground was symbolic, a testament to hope, and he could be part of it. "Let's make it happen," he said, feeling an unfamiliar warmth spreading through him at the thought of taking an active role in this initiative. "I'll not only fund it, but I will put my team to work on it to make it everything you dreamed." The words rushed out before he could convince himself otherwise. Amelia's eyes widened. She didn't just respond with a smile, but with sparkling joy that lit up her whole face. It was contagious. Around them, the cafe patrons paused, caught off guard by the response. The mood shifted. Conversations dimmed as the warmth emanating from their interaction drew in curious glances. "Are you serious?" she signed, her excitement painting small gasps across the room. It was a sheer moment of pure disbelief wrapped in unfiltered joy. James nodded, his heart racing. Yes, every swing, every slide, all of it. Amelia threw her arms around him, a gesture that shattered whatever fortress he'd built. For an instant, he felt the barriers he had so carefully constructed break away, washing over him like the gentle ripples of a warm wave. It was dizzying and beautiful all at once. As she released him, her cheeks flushed with excitement. The other patrons began to murmur their encouragement, sharing their own stories of community and togetherness. James stood there, overwhelmed, yet feeling strangely buoyant. He just decided to invest something far more precious than money. But as they began to discuss how they could bring the project to life together, the shadows of his past resurfaced. Doubts nagged at him. He could already hear the harsh whispers of his business associates questioning his sanity for focusing on something other than profit. "Are you sure about this?" A familiar voice dared to crawl out from the depths of his mind. "You, a billionaire, investing your time into a playground?" It seemed absurd against the backdrop of his sharp dealings and ruthless tactics. Yet Amelia's bright eyes anchored him, sparking a determination to prove that sometimes wealth could be wielded for good. What if this was the start of something larger than any deal? With shared smiles, they began to sketch plans and brainstorm ideas, the prior tension fading like ghosts in warm sunlight. James felt hope growing stronger, but he also sensed the weight of expectation now pressing down on him, an obligation not to turn back. As the meeting shifted into playful conversations filled with laughter, the aspirations of a community stirred into life. Together, they would reshape a forgotten playground. But what lay ahead wasn't just construction. It was forging a path to redemption for James. A thought loomed as he put pen to paper, a question that hung heavy in the air. Could he truly transform his legacy from greed into generosity? The next morning dawned with a light that felt brighter than usual. James blinked against the sun, greeting the day that felt different, almost as if it was awake with hope. As the early rays spilled over the city, he found himself unsure of what lay ahead, but determined to embrace it. His mind spun with ideas for the playground project, imagining laughter bouncing off new swings and the joy illuminating the faces of kids who would play there. This was more than a business investment. It was a chance to connect with the community, to be part of something meaningful. After a quick breakfast, he decided to visit the site. The vacant lot where Amelia envisioned the playground felt alive in his mind. He could picture vibrant colors, laughter intertwining with the sounds of children playing, every corner filled with imagination. Pulling into the lot, he noticed it was surrounded by tall, tired buildings that seemed to silently observe the dreams of those who lost their way. He met Amelia there, her eyes sparkling with excitement as she bounced on her toes, her hands moving in rhythm to words. Only they understood. "Have you thought more about what we need?" she signed eagerly, a bright smile breaking across her face. James nodded enthusiastically, pulling out his phone to take notes. "Let's make a list together. What do we need for swings, benches, a sandbox?" He felt empowered as they brainstormed, his heart swelling with each idea shared. As they talked, he noticed an elderly woman walking her dog nearby, her face lighting up at the sight of the two of them. James caught her eye and smiled. She reached out a hand, signaling Amelia to come over. "Do you like to play at the park?" the woman asked, gesturing towards Amelia. Amelia grinned and signed, "Yes, I want it to be a place for everyone." The woman's face softened, filled with warmth. "What a beautiful dream. I sometimes bring my granddaughter to the park. She would love to see it transformed." Watching this interaction, James felt a sense of purpose settle deep within him. This project was connecting lives. It wasn't only about swings and slides. It was about community, camaraderie, and hope. Later, they walked through the local shops, taking a moment to soak in the small businesses that dotted the street. Each little store told its own story, just as his had. He could feel the energy of the neighborhood, the spirit of collaboration humming around him. "Do you think we could have a community event when we finish?" Amelia suggested, her fingers dancing in the air. "Invite everyone?" "Yes," he replied, excitement fueling him. He envisioned family potlucks and children's laughter echoing through the streets. This wasn't merely a playground, it was a catalyst for something profound. As they returned to the coffee shop, James felt renewed. He reached for his wallet, an idea sparking in his mind. He wanted to buy supplies for their project, paints, swings, everything they might need. "Let's get started now. I want to make sure we have materials right away." Amelia clapped her hands, her eyes shining. But as he pulled out his credit card, a twinge of doubt whispered through him. Could he really handle this responsibility? Just as he brushed the thought away, a voice from his past echoed within him, questioning once again if he would falter under such pressure. But he couldn't look back now. "Together," he reassured himself quietly, "we can do this together." As Amelia beamed, the possibilities began to unfold. But deep inside, the question lingered. Would he also be able to embrace his own past while stepping into this new future? And as they walked out of the shop, a strange sense of fear crept in. Would the values he had once clung to slip away? What if this path proved too challenging? "James, what's next?" Amelia asked, tugging on his sleeve. And he realized the responsibility was now not just on his shoulders, but entwined with a child's hope. He smiled back at her, determination in his gaze. "Next, we change everything." What exactly would that change mean for him? The next few days felt like a whirlwind. James dove into the project with both feet. Mornings turned into afternoons filled with planning, while evenings were spent in endless discussions with Amelia about every detail. They drew sketches, made lists, and shared ideas that melted into laughter. It was an exhilarating ride, and for the first time in years, James felt alive. But as the momentum built, so did his nerves. With each idea they fleshed out, the extent of his commitment settled heavier on his shoulders. He could still hear that distant voice echoing doubts from his past. It had been simple to dream, but now the reality demanded action. Was he truly ready for this? Was he really able to carry the weight of such responsibility? On a Wednesday afternoon, as they sat at a picnic table surrounded by piles of colorful construction paper, Amelia sidled closer. "James, what is bothering you?" she signed, concern etched across her face. James hesitated, watching the light dance in her eyes. This was the moment he realized he couldn't hide anymore. "I guess I'm afraid. What if I can't do this? What if I let you down? What if everything falls apart?" Amelia shook her head, signing firmly, "No falling, We build together. Her determination struck a chord deep within him. He took a deep breath, absorbing her spirit. You're right, together, we're a team. Reinvigorated, they resumed their planning, but the nagging feeling still lingered. At night, James frequently found himself awake, staring at the ceiling. He couldn't shake the dread that accompanied the progress. What impact would this project bring on the community? And what about his own life? On Thursday, they took a field trip to a local hardware store. James wanted to buy supplies to start polishing their plans into reality. As they entered, he could feel the energy in the air. The scent of fresh timber and paint swirled around them, awakening his senses. Holding Amelia's hand, he wandered into the aisles, imagining what they could create together. He grabbed boxes of nails, colorful buckets of paint, and vibrant rope for swings. With every item, he felt hope ripple through him, driving him closer to their goal. As they approached the checkout counter, James pulled out his credit card. He could see the excitement in Amelia's eyes as she signed, "I can't wait to see it all come together." Just then, the cashier, a friendly woman with kind eyes, asked, "What's all this for?" "Building a playground," James replied, his voice filled with pride. "He's helping me make a park for everyone," Amelia added, her hands moving animatedly. "Wow, how wonderful! You're both doing such an amazing thing for the community." The woman smiled genuinely, as if their people's work had sparked a fire inside of her. For James, the compliment nestled warmly in his heart, soothing the panic that had taken root there. Maybe he wasn't doing this alone after all. Through Amelia's eyes, the community was coming together, each person contributing hope, just with a spark of excitement. As they finished the transaction and headed out, Amelia turned to him, her expression more serious now. "James, no worries, okay? We are going to make this. Trust." Her words resonated like a gentle bell inside him. He wanted to trust, not just in the project or the community, but in himself and his own worth. As they loaded materials into his car, he realized he had to let go of fear and embrace the journey ahead. "Let's show everyone what we can do, Amelia," he said, his voice steady. "Yes, show them," she signed, her joy infectious. But even as renewed optimism filled them, James couldn't shake the lingering doubt, creeping back into thoughts. This path was shifting not just a neighborhood, but perhaps his entire life. What if they succeeded? What if they not only transformed a lot, but also their futures? As they drove away, a harrowing thought floated through his mind, blending with the excitement. Would he be brave enough to confront what that success could mean? And as Amelia chattered away, his heart raced. What if the greatest transformation wasn't just the playground, but something deep within himself? The next morning, the sun peeked through James's curtains, illuminating the chaos of notes and sketches that sprawled across his bedroom floor. He could hardly believe how far he had come with Amelia. Just last week, he had felt like a man stuck in a rut, but now his heart beat with a rhythm of excitement and nervousness. Today was the day they would begin the groundwork for the playground, and he could hardly contain his anticipation. Amelia arrived wearing her trademark bright smile, adorned in a blue t-shirt with cartoon animals. Her energy was contagious, and it seeped into James like sunlight breaking through clouds. He felt lighter, ready to tackle anything that came their way. "Ready?" she signed, bouncing on her toes as they stood in his driveway, surrounded by the supplies they had purchased. "More than ever," he replied, a grin spreading across his face. They loaded the van with equipment, shovels, cement bags, and colorful paint supplies. On the way to the park, James couldn't help but fantasize about the kids who would eventually play there. Laughter cascading like music, tiny feet racing each other as friends and strangers alike bonded over swings and slides. It was a beautiful picture, one filled with pure joy. But as they pulled up to the site, reality settled in. The land lay barren and empty, surrounded by tall grass that whispered in the gentle breeze. James looked at Amelia. "This is it, we'd start here?" Amelia nodded vigorously, her excitement undeterred. She signed, Yes, we are planting dreams." James laughed at her enthusiasm. While he believed in their vision, the sheer magnitude of what lay ahead started to weigh on him again. Just think, this is going to take a lot of hard work. Hard work means strong playground, Amelia signed, beaming with confidence. They got to work. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, James felt his muscles ache from digging and hauling. But every scoop of dirt they removed felt like progress to him. Soon, children from the neighborhood began to wander over, drawn by the strange sight of two adults transforming the empty lot into something significant. "Hey, what are you building?" a curious boy asked, eyes wide with interest. "A playground," James replied, feeling a rush at the thought of their project becoming a reality. "Cool, can I help?" The boy grinned, his genuine zeal infectious. "Of course, join us," Amelia signed to him, inviting him with warm hand gestures. One by one, more kids gathered around, eager to contribute to the creation of their future play space. The laughter and chatter formed a symphony of collaboration, filling the air with life. James's heart swelled with gratitude. The weight he had felt earlier began to lighten, replaced by something warm and hopeful. As the sun began to dip towards the horizon, they paused for a break. Sitting on the grass together, James watched the children work under Amelia's guidance. Her compassion and leadership shone brightly, inspiring everyone around her. At that moment, he realized that this was more than just a playground. It was about building connections, making memories, and healing old wounds. "Look at what we've started," James said softly, nodding toward the smiling children, watching them chase one another, a surge of pride swelling within him. "Yes, together," Amelia signed, and James could see the glow of happiness radiating from her. But deep down, a familiar fear still murmured within him. What if I let them down? What if it isn't enough? As night enveloped the park, he caught Amelia's gaze and felt something shift. "Tomorrow, we do even more, right?" he asked, the anxiety slightly easing under the weight of her smile. "More, always more," she signed, energy flickering in her eyes like the stars overhead. Yet, as they gathered their things to leave, James felt a new sense of urgency. What would happen when the playground was finished? What would that mean for their future? As they drove away, he mulled over the countless possibilities that lay ahead, gripping the steering wheel tightly. There was still so much to do. Would he have the courage to embrace the journey fully, to put everything on the line for something that mattered? Just when he thought he had clarity, a sudden thought struck him. Would they truly be ready for the challenges that success would bring? The morning sun burst brightly into James's kitchen, scattering shadows and filling the air with golden warmth. Today felt different. He could already see it, a playground alive with laughter and energy. They had all worked so hard for this moment, yet he found himself pacing around the table, the cup of coffee in his hand, cold and untouched. Amelia sat at the table, doodling plans for the playground, her fingers moving deftly across the paper. Her focus was a sight to behold. She held a world of dreams within that paper, and James felt a tug at his heart as he watched her. He couldn't shake the thought of what lay ahead, not just the challenges of building, but the deeper implications. Would they be able to maintain their vision? "James," Amelia signed, breaking him from his thoughts. "What's wrong?" "Just thinking about everything," he admitted, setting the coffee down. "I want it to be perfect for the kids." Her brow furrowed for a moment, and then she shook her head with a smile, her eyes sparkling with determination. She signed, "Not perfect, just play. We play together." He chuckled, his anxiety subsiding. It was true. The playground was meant to be a sanctuary of joy. Working together with the children, seeing their bright faces, was more significant than any imagined benchmark of success. They hurried through breakfast, and soon they were back at the park, hands ready for another day of labor. As soon as they arrived, the children blossomed from the grass like wildflowers, excited to jump into the work again. "Let's paint, let's build," called out Sarah, one of the neighborhood kids, her enthusiasm sparkling wide grins among the others. "All right, team, let's get started," James shouted, his heart racing at the thought of turning this vision into a reality. As they laid out the paint cans and brushes, James watched Amelia step forward, confidently guiding the children. She organized them effortlessly, splitting the crew into teams for painting and digging. The kids buzzed like little bees, eager to contribute in any way they could. James felt lighter just being with them. He picked up a brush and joined in, painting a bright swing set with vivid colors. Laughter and chatter blended, creating a melody of hope. Each stroke of paint felt like a deeper promise, a promise they were building together. But amid the joy, James's mind drifted again to the future. What if people didn't understand Amelia's vision? What if they faced opposition? Would the community embrace what they were creating? His thoughts wrestled within him. "James," a voice broke through. It was Amelia, gesturing for him to look. Her eyes gleamed with excitement as she held up her work, one of the slides, painted in rainbow hues, cheerful and inviting. "That's amazing!" he exclaimed, running over to her side. For a moment, all his worry evaporated. Her excitement ignited something in him, a reminder of why they were doing this. "Together," she signed, echoing her earlier words. As they continued working, a sudden commotion drew his gaze. A man had arrived at the edge of the park, dressed in a suit that seemed out of place among the bright colors and dirt. James's heart sank a little. He was a stranger, and strangers often brought complications. As the man approached, Amelia's "the joy of the day" felt threatened. James stepped forward, ready to defend what they'd worked so hard for. "Can I help you?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady. The man smiled, but there was something unsettling about it. "I'm looking for an opportunity, an investment." James exchanged a look with Amelia, her excitement now mixed with hesitation. What did this mean for them? Would they be ready for what might follow? "Opportunity," James murmured, feeling a mix of dread and curiosity rise within him. What was this man after, and at what cost? The day was far from over, and the truth loomed ahead like a shadow on a sunny day. What challenges would this man bring? The man stepped closer, his polished shoes cracking the gravel softly beneath his feet. James couldn't help but scrutinize him. His demeanor was calm, yet the glimmer in his eye hinted at something sharper, something almost predatory. "Opportunity, huh?" James said, trying to mirror the man's smile, but knowing his own felt forced. What kind of opportunity? The man extended his hand, but James hesitated. He could feel Amelia's eyes on him, a silent wave of concern flooding the air between them. "I'm Gordon," the man said, his voice smooth like an infomercial pitch. "I've been watching this project of yours, and I see great potential. A playground like this could attract substantial attention and investment." He paused, letting the weight of his words hang in the air. James swallowed hard, a pit forming in his stomach. "We're not looking for investment. We're building this for the kids." Gordon's smile widened, revealing too many teeth. "Of course, but think about it. A playground like no other. With the right funding, you could create something spectacular. I could fund it all in return for a partnership." A partnership? Red flags began to wave in James's mind. Partnerships came with contracts, obligations, loss of control. He looked over at Amelia, who was now focused on the children, helping them measure out wood for a new structure. In her world, however innocent and simple, the clouds of doubt began to creep in. "What's the catch?" James asked, his voice firmer now, unnerved by the shift in atmosphere. Gordon chuckled lightly, waving his hand dismissively. "No catch, just collaboration. Imagine your vision combined with resources. You could be in the papers. Fund more costly projects, expand to other neighborhoods. Think of how many kids you could reach." James shook his head. "What we want isn't in the papers, It's about community. It's about play. His heartbeat quickened, a mixture of anger and anxiety bubbling beneath the surface. Community isn't sustainable without funding, my friend. Let me help you. Gordon's tone shifted, becoming persuasive, almost urgent. You can't build on dreams alone. Amelia turned her head slightly toward the conversation, sensing the tension. She took a step forward, her brow furrowing as she signed to James. What is wrong? Just a conversation, James replied, keeping his voice calm. He focused on her. Nothing we can't handle. Gordon stretched his arms wide as if preparing for a theatrical performance. Let's make sure we don't let this charming opportunity slip away. Imagine all the bright smiles, the laughter echoing through the park. Right, James replied, barely hiding his skepticism. But at what cost, really? Just as he would ask that question, one of the children fell, a sudden shriek piercing through the air. Everyone froze. Amelia dashed forward, her instincts kicking in, her face a mask of concern. Amelia, it's okay. She just tripped, James called out, relief washing over him as the girl scrambled to her feet, brushing off grass and dirt from her knees. Laughter erupted around her, breaking the tension. Gordon, however, looked unfazed. You see, kids are resilient. That's the beauty of childhood, isn't it? James clenched his fists. No one is using kids to make money here. The man gave a slight shrug. Just think about it, James. An investment with fantastic returns. Don't keep your head in the sand. Embrace possibilities. Amelia, finally back among the children, turned to look at Gordon. Her expression was a mix of confusion, curiosity, and a healthy dose of bravery. Maybe the opportunities are hidden under the surface, she signed, making eye contact with both James and Gordon. But we already have everything we need. Gordon's smile faltered, and for a split second, James thought he saw the man's facade crack. What will you do? He asked Amelia, his tone strangely softer, gauging her reaction. She smiled brightly and looked back at the children, her gaze shining with a conviction that James admired. I will watch everyone play, and then we will build even bigger dreams. As she turned to grab a paintbrush, James felt hope sparking in tandem with fear. It was true that play couldn't be invested in without heart, yet here was Gordon testing their resolve. With a mix of uncertainty, James felt he would have to decide soon how to protect Amelia's dream. Suddenly, what once seemed simple was now intertwined with choices that could change everything. Could they keep their vision intact and rise above this unexpected challenge? And if they chose to fight, what paths lay ahead? James watched as Amelia turned back to the kids, her energy radiating warmth and confidence. There was an abundance of joy in their laughter, a reminder of why they had begun this project in the first place. The playground wasn't just wood and nails, it was a promise to the community, to children who deserved a space where they could be free and imaginative. But before he could fully absorb that thought, Gordon stepped closer, his presence looming like a shadow over their vibrant moment. You do realize, he started, that kids' laughter doesn't pay the bills. Neither do flashy ideas without heart, James shot back, feeling the tension thickening again. Amelia turned back and signed. We are not just kids. We are community. Her voice may not have carried in words, but each gesture resonated with a powerful clarity that pulled James into her confidence. Gordon crossed his arms, observing Amelia, intrigued but undeterred. I admire your passion, really. But do you understand what it takes to launch something like this? Real investment requires real stakes. James felt something burning inside him. Anger? Determination? Maybe a mix of both. He had spent years building trust with the kids and their families. He couldn't allow someone like Gordon to come in and disrupt that foundation with only promises of potential gain. We're not going to turn this place into a circus for money, James asserted. "This park is about playing, learning, and enjoying life. That's worth more than any dollar amount you can throw at it." Gordon's smile wavered, and for a brief moment, James thought he saw annoyance flash in his eyes. "You know, James, sometimes people have to take hard steps for the greater good. Sacrifices can lead to greater outcomes." "We won't sacrifice anything," James replied firmly. "Amelia and I, we believe in what this community represents. We won't sell out." Amelia stepped forward, placing a hand gently on James's arm. She signed something new, her expressions shifting from fierce to soft. "No one can buy our dreams." "Very noble," Gordon said dryly, but his amusement vanished. "But how will you handle the mountain of obstacles coming your way? I've seen far too many dreamers get lost in the shuffle." James could feel the weight of Gordon's words bearing down on him, but he remembered all the kids who looked up to him, all the families who had reached out in gratitude. He couldn't let fear dictate their path. "We will handle whatever comes our way," he contracted, his voice steady. "Because it's about more than just us. It's about every child who deserves a place to run, laugh, and create." Amelia nodded vigorously, excitement visible in her eyes. She signed, "Together we are stronger." Just then, one of the children, a little boy, ran up to them, holding a handful of shiny rocks he had found on the ground. "Look, these are special. Can we use them to make the playground even prettier?" The innocence in his eyes broke the intensity of the moment, and James couldn't help but smile. "Of course, every one of those is a part of our playground now." Amelia joined him, bending down to examine the stones. "Look, we can paint them. They can be like jewels in the jungle." Gordon observed the interaction, his face shifting from annoyance to something less defined, something that looked like intrigue, or perhaps respect. "Your spirit is admirable," he said slowly, "but there's something you should know." Before he could finish, a loud crash echoed through the park. Everyone turned, hearts racing as a nearby tree branch buckled under the weight of unexpected rain and snapped. It missed the children, but fell ominously close. James rushed forward, adrenaline surging through him. He couldn't afford any accidents, not now. "Are you all okay?" he yelled while checking the kids, ensuring everyone was safe. Amelia's eyes were wide and focused, her hands moving quickly, directing the children away from the fallen branch, her calm demeanor spreading reassurance. Gordon stood back, watching how the chaos unfolded, curiosity piqued. "You really do care about them, don't you?" he asked, tilting his head in contemplative observation. "That's never going to change," James retorted, heart racing but resolve stronger than ever. As the chaos began to settle, he could feel the uncertainty of the future looming heavily above, darker than the storm clouds that continued to roll in. What had Gordon meant to reveal? And could the unwavering bond they had been building survive the storm approaching their dream? As the echoes of the crash faded into uncertain silence, James gathered the kids in a tight circle, their wide eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and curiosity. He could feel the weight of Gordon's gaze pinning him down, but that pressure only solidified his resolve. "All right, everyone, gather around. Let's make sure we stay safe and stick together, okay?" he said, trying to inject warmth into his voice. Amelia signed eagerly as she reinforced his message, her energy reassuring the children. They were still shaken, but the icy fear began to thaw, replaced by the familiar warmth of their community spirit. The rain, once gentle, began to pour in earnest, each drop a reminder of the challenges ahead. The playground, that beacon of hope, now looked forlorn beneath heavy clouds. Yet, as he glanced back at the kids, James felt a flicker of determination. They weren't done yet. Gordon, against the backdrop of gray sky, softened a hint more, his arms still crossed, but his expression less rigid. "Children have a way of making us reconsider our priorities,"
he mused aloud, almost to himself. Exactly. They remind us of what's truly important, James replied, stepping fully into the conversation. It's about giving them a safe place to explore and grow. That's the richest investment we can make. The little boy with the shiny rocks, Eli, stood up in front of James, his tiny fists clenching the colorful treasures. Can we build something today? Maybe a castle for the princesses? James smiled, love swelling in his chest. Absolutely! We can make this place even more magical than before. But first, how about we find a safe spot to wait out this rain? As the kids murmured in agreement, Amelia signed to James again, catching his attention. Let's create a wall of stones, our community strength. Her eyes sparkled with excitement, and it simply lit up his entire day. He could see in her that same passion he felt. What do you say, crew? Should we collect all our shiny rocks and build a wall of dreams? Cheers erupted from the kids, their spirits buoyed by the enthusiasm of the two leaders. But while they busied themselves organizing rocks, James felt Gordon's presence shift. Something deeper was happening. Was there a change in his heart? Did he start to understand the vision, or was he merely strategizing? As the rain began to ease, a few familiar faces from the community strolled in, concerned but curious. Mothers, fathers, and grandparents who had come to offer support. The park wasn't theirs alone. It belonged to every single person who had walked down its paths. James welcomed them, his heart lightening. You all came just in time. We're building a wall of dreams today. Amelia signed enthusiastically, communicating their plans as new volunteers encouraged the kids. The energy lifted. It was a rhythmic dance of playful laughter amid the newfound guardians of their project. Gordon lingered on the edges, observing, his frown easing slightly as he took in the scene. James noticed and approached him tentatively. Can I count on you too? We could truly use someone with your experience. Gordon studied him for a long moment. You really think this will work? I know it will, James declared with unshakable confidence. If we all work together, every voice, every heart, there's nothing we can't achieve. The clouds parted a little, letting a few sunbeams through, illuminating the growing circle of community. Yet, Gordon's silence left more questions hanging in the air. Perhaps, he said slowly, the choice between passion and profit isn't so black and white after all. Before James could respond, a sudden commotion broke out. One child shouted, drawing attention to something peeking out from beneath the fallen branch. A small stray dog, soaked and trembling, looked up at them with big, pleading eyes. James felt a quick pull on his heartstrings, a reminder that their work extended beyond playgrounds and laughter. Now they faced a new choice, to help save that tiny creature or to focus solely on their project. Eli, Amelia, can you help me? This little guy could use some love, James called, feeling a surge of urgency. As the children rushed to him, excitement turned to concern. But what if? Eli asked, hesitating. Instead of finishing that thought, James's heart beat loud in his chest. What if we create a home together? The future loomed ahead, uncertain but filled with possibilities. Would they embrace the chance to save not just the playground, but also a life? The rain may have stopped, but their journey was just beginning. As the children gathered around the trembling dog, James felt a warmth spread through him, filling the emptiness that had haunted him for so long. Watching Amelia kneel beside the pup, her fingers brushing its fur, he knew they were doing something monumental, something that transcended the playground, encompassing compassion and community spirit. Let's call him Lucky, James suggested, and a chorus of little voices erupted in agreement, each child radiant with energy and purpose. Lucky wagged his tail cautiously, responding to the affection being showered upon him. With the rain now just a memory, a powerful sense of unity began to take hold within the group. They weren't merely constructing a playground, they were building something larger, a community. At that moment, James didn't see himself as just a billionaire. He saw himself as part of this tapestry of warmth and hope. They were all woven together.
Can we build him a little house? Eli piped up, eyes alight with excitement. He needs a place to stay. James exchanged a glance with Amelia, who nodded, her enthusiasm mirrored in her eyes. Let's do it, he responded, feeling renewed purpose seep into his veins. Turning to Gordon, he added, what do you think? Can we extend our project to include a little home for Lucky? Gordon stood silent for a moment, observing the camaraderie unfolding around him. I suppose anything is possible when you put your heart into it, he remarked, a hint of realization dawning upon him, as if the walls around his cynicism were starting to crack. In a matter of moments, the children sprang into action, gathering materials and paint, their laughter ringing out like joyful music. They transformed the playground vision into a playground dream, centered around kindness, inclusivity, and love, with Lucky as their mascot. Amelia hopped around, guiding them effortlessly. The more hearts, the better, she signed to James, her eyes twinkling with joy. Everyone can contribute. And contribute they did. The community members, initially just onlookers, now joined in fully. Parents grabbed tools, children sketched out plans for Lucky's house, and soon even Gordon found himself involved, drawing up ideas with surprising eagerness. As the framework of Lucky's house began to take shape, so did something astounding within James. He realized that this simple act of kindness was awakening the compassion he thought he had lost forever. He felt more connected to the community than ever before. What's next? Someone asked. Let's paint it together, Amelia signed, her expression full of delight. As the children gathered under the sun, brushes in hand, they filled Lucky's house with luminous colors. Each brushstroke a declaration of love, each giggle a promise of hope. As each child dipped their brush, they called out their chosen colors, infusing the little doghouse with vibrant hues and their dreams. James stood back, his heart swelling as he watched them. Laughter danced in the air, mingling with the rich scent of paint and wood. This is what it's all about, he whispered to himself. Gordon approached him, hands in his pockets, the earlier tension between them dissipating into the background. You've got something special here, James. I see that now. This isn't just a project, it's a bond, a legacy. Exactly, James nodded. We're creating a place for children, for families, and for this community to thrive. This is bigger than any business deal I've ever made. A genuine smile curled at the edges of Gordon's lips, an acknowledgement that he was beginning to understand the profound impact of love-driven endeavors. I'd like to contribute more, he admitted quietly, lifting his gaze from the house. Not for profit, but for the spirit of what you're doing. As the laughter continued to echo around them, James felt the weight of uncertainty melt away. The people gathered here, Amelia, the children, the families, and even Gordon, held his heart in their hands. Together, they were not just changing a playground, they were crafting a moment that would transform lives. As the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting long golden rays into the park, James felt a pang of gratitude. It swelled inside him like a tide washing over his fears and worries, leaving only clarity. Wherever this leads, let it be about more than swings and slides, he declared, his voice steady and filled with conviction. May it serve as a reminder that true wealth lies in connection, kindness, and community. Amelia raised her hand to sign one final message. Together, we will build a brighter future. Her words dripped with promise. In that moment, he knew they had already succeeded. They had built more than playground equipment. They had forged hope, healed hearts, and created a legacy that would shine brighter than even the most opulent fortune. And as they all gathered to admire their work, Lucky barking joyfully among them, James felt a sense of purpose deeper than he had ever known. Their story had just begun, and boy, was it beautiful. Now, it's your turn to step into this journey with us. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories that inspire change. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support this meaningful content. Comment with your thoughts and feelings about this amazing transformation. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this message of hope and community. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait, not even one more second to share. Let's make a difference together.